You've caught me in something of a pensive, introspective mood at the moment. You see, it's just occurred to me why it is that I do this. Why this is so important to me. Yes, that's right. I've just done my tax return. Oh dear, my friends. That was a shock to the system, I can assure you, because in spite of this last year being pretty much entirely devoid of performance and work, turns out 2019-2020, pretty good year for me, and haven't I just paid for that? So, I am more grateful to you, my lovely, loving, loyal subscribers than ever for what you bring to me. Yes, it may only be a few pounds a month to you, but goodness me, it makes a difference for my end of things. So thank you sincerely for supporting the arts, for supporting this poor, starving artiste. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Poor? Pah! Doesn't seem it. Don't be fooled by appearances. You'll notice the glass of plonk, I never actually drink it. No, it's the same glass has been there since December. I just top it up when it starts to evaporate, that's all. Goodness me, I dread to think what state it's in now. Probably more like balsamic vinegar than wine. Oh, dear God, that's tart. Not all bad, though. Anyway, I digress. You see, every year, as I'm sure those of you who have to do your own taxes will appreciate, you find yourself in this horrible position of trying to put off the inevitable, of trying to shrink back and avoid and distract yourself, while the inevitable deadline looms and gets closer and closer, and the more you try to do to distract yourself, the closer it seems to get. There's no avoiding it, no getting away from it. It comes ever closer until it's there upon you. Unavoidable doom. So tonight we're doing the pit and the pendulum. Seemed fitting, I thought. Ha! Anyway, enjoy. And of course, for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, yes, you, I'm looking at you, directly at you, I can see into your very soul. Yes, here's a little taste of what you could have for just a few pounds a month. Give it some thought, eh? What boots it to tell of the long, long hours of horror, more than mortal, during which I counted the rushing oscillations of the steel, inch by inch, line by line, with a descent only appreciable at intervals that seemed ages. Down and still down it came. Days passed. It might have been that many days passed ere it swept so closely over me as to fan me with its acrid breath. The odour of the sharp steel forced itself into my nostrils. I prayed. I wearied heaven with my prayer for its more speedy descent. I grew frantically mad with struggling to force myself upward against the sweep of the fearful scimitar. And then I fell suddenly calm and lay smiling at the glittering death, as a child at some rare bauble. There was another interval of utter insensibility. It was brief, for upon again lapsing into life there had been no perceptible descent of the pendulum. But it might have been long. For I know that there were demons who took note on my swoon, and who could have arrested the vibration at pleasure. Upon my recovery, too, I felt very, oh, so inexpressibly sick and weak, as if through long inanition. Even amid the agonies of that period, the human nature craved food. With painful effort, I outstretched my left arm as far as my bonds permitted, and took possession of the small remnant which had been spared to me by the rats. As I put a portion of it within my lips, there rushed to my mind a half-formed thought of joy, of hope,